Today we're talking about the 24-chapter novel outline. This is an outline that I think a lot of authors should know about, but it's not particularly common. So let's dive straight in, and I'm going to walk you through the entire thing chapter by chapter and how you can use it in your author business. Alright folks, this is a blog post that I put together a while back about the 24-chapter novel outline. This is an outline template that was developed by Derek Murphy, who is one of the OG self-publishing gurus. And he has this really great method of just saying what should be in every chapter. If you have a standard commercial novel, and this is meant for commercial novels, not really for literary novels or anything like that, because commercial fiction tends to be more structured. And this doesn't necessarily mean that every novel should have 24 chapters, but if you want something that kind of puts everything in perspective, one chapter at a time, and you have a clear progression of events over 24 steps, it can be actually a really good, useful tool for you to use. Now, for those new to the channel, this channel is all about helping authors utilize AI in their process to make things a little easier and less headache for people and to avoid burnout and things like that. But this video really is more universal. Anybody can use it. However, I do want to just say off the bat that the 24 novel outline is really good for AI if you are outlining using an AI tool because of its structured approach, because of the way that you have each of these chapters so clearly laid out. If you can give this your synopsis and then give the AI your structure, it can easily compose in a really decent chapter by chapter outline where you at least know the basics of what should happen in every single chapter. And so that's why I'm making this video now. If you would like to see more videos like this on other story structures, be sure to let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do for future videos. But with that said, let's jump right into this 24-chapter novel outline. And I'm going to start with this summary that I put together right at the beginning of this blog post and show you just the general overview. It's split into 4 parts. Each part has 6 chapters, plus 1 or 2 of what we call these section breaks here, which are, they can be moments, they can be scenes, they can be a whole chapter in and of themselves, or they can be lumped into one of these other chapters. It just depends on the importance of the scene in question for your specific novel. But let's just go over the sections first. Act 1 is all about the hero and their ordinary world. So it's about introducing the characters, about showing them in their ordinary world where they start out. And then it ends kind of crossing a threshold and moving into the general try-fail cycles of Act 2. And Act 2 has 12 chapters, excuse me. But in this case, it's divided into 2 sections, Act 2A and Act 2B, each of them with 6 chapters in them. Act 2A kind of is called Exploring the New World. It's all about really just getting to know the new unfamiliar territory that the hero is in. And you have a couple of things like the section break and things like that. And then you have Act 2B, which is the bad guys close in. This is where, in the third quarter of a movie or the novel, things start to go really bad and they get worse and worse and worse. And then finally, we have Act 3, which takes up the last 25% of the novel. And this is another thing I really love about this outline is it's so clearly structured. Act 1 is 25%, Act 2 is 50%, and Act 3 is 25%, which is almost exactly the way it's always prescribed anytime you talk about the 3-act structure. And in reality, the 24-chapter novel outline is just a much more detailed, much more finely defined version of the 3-act structure. So there are other structures out there like Save the Cat, for example, that has a couple of other recommendations. You'll find a lot of overlap between all of these story structures, but this one really is modeled off of the 3-act structure with a couple of things from the hero's journey and other things thrown in. But Act 3 is basically it's the climax, it's the defeating of the enemies, and it is that ultimate victory and return for the hero. We do have one optional chapter here where the protagonist can experience some kind of rebirth, but it's, as it says here, optional. And so let's go chapter by chapter through this and see what we have for each step of this journey. So, chapter 1, The Really Bad Day. You want to start every book, even if you haven't gotten to the inciting incident yet, you want to start every book with some kind of problem, usually experienced by the protagonist. For chapter 2, we not only have a problem, but there's something off. There's something weird happening. We're also not quite at that inciting incident yet, but there's something new, something different that has been introduced into the scene. Chapter 3, we have Grasping at Straws. This is where things are starting to shift and change, and Bilbo Baggins doesn't want to go on that adventure, right? The protagonist is kind of, digging their heels in and saying, whoa, I don't like this. And then we have the section break, which is the inciting incident. And again, this could be a single moment. It could be a scene. It could be its own chapter. But this is where the big thing happens that totally removes the hero from their place of comfort and forces them into action of some kind. Going along with that is chapter 4, the call to adventure, which basically it's this call. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the call for the hero to get up and do something so that they can continue and solve whatever problem was caused by the inciting incident. Chapter 5, we have Head in the Sand, where the hero really doesn't want to do the thing that they need to do. But in chapter 6, we get Pull Out the Rug, which means that they simply must continue going on the call to adventure. They don't really have that much choice in the matter. Usually this is often something personal here, like it says here, a theft, a kidnapping, or a loss. And we move into Act 2, Part 1, Exploring the New World. We get a section break here of the first plot point, which is the first major turning point of the story. By this point, you want to have introduced all the major characters of the story. And this is, I've heard this talked about as the no turning back moment. This is the moment where you have to keep going. Otherwise, you face disaster. And then we have 3 chapters here, chapter 7, 8, and 9, where the character is basically thrust into this new world and is experiencing new things and getting used to the new environment. So he gains a couple enemies and allies. He goes through what we call games and trials, where the protagonist is facing challenges, but earns a little respect here because they managed to have some kind of small victory that shows that, oh, this person is actually a hero and has a chance, maybe a small chance at defeating the antagonist in some way. But then we get this section break, which is the first pinch point, also called the first battle. And this is the first time that the hero encounters the antagonist in a big way and not necessarily loses, but is kind of introduced to just how big and important this opposing force is. That pinch point is accelerated with chapter 10 in The Forces of Evil, where the protagonist figures out just what extent this antagonist's powers are. And, I'm trying to speak in abstract terms here because this isn't necessarily a person or a villain. It could be an inner force. It could be a force of nature, all kinds of things. But basically, the character becomes much more aware of the problem that they are facing, which leads to chapter 11, Problem Revealed, where at this point the character realizes that they're a bit over their head and they really don't know what to do next, which leads to chapter 12, right before the midpoint, where the protagonist uncovers some kind of information or truth that leads them to a crossroads where they can either continue or they can just stop doing what they're doing. But at this point, we get to this section break and the start of part 2 of Act 2, which is called the midpoint, which is basically where the character makes a critical decision to move forward and be a hero, which is accompanied by chapter 13 here, which is called the mirror stage, where usually the character has to have some sort of inner conflict, inner realization, showing how they are now turning from victim to warrior in pursuit of this goal. Next, we move on to chapter 14, which is the plan of attack, where the character starts to formulate a plan to solve the problem, to confront the antagonist. In chapter 15, we get a really good look at the role that the character plays, and this role must be important. It must be crucial to the success over the overall plan. But then we get the second pinch point, the section break, which is another encounter with the antagonist. And this is another very significant turning point of the story. This usually is encountered here in chapter 16 with the direct conflict, where the character has, as it implies, direct conflict with the antagonist, and they try to put their plan into action. But it results in failure, chapter 17, where things take a turn for the worst. And usually right around this time, you get the shocking revelation. Something has gone completely wrong, and there is a major disaster involved. Perhaps the character learns something important about themselves. Perhaps the antagonist reveals something important. There are a lot of different ways that it can go. But whatever happens at this point, the stakes are raised, and we get the second plot point, which is called the Dark Night of the Soul. And this is essentially the lowest of the low point for the character. They are brought down into this incredible depression due to their character flaw or lack of knowledge or just ineptitude. But that moves us into Act 3, which is called Defeat and Victory. To start this act off, the hero usually has a moment where they're kind of giving up. But then they get pep talked by usually an ally who encourages them to just get off their death and get to work and figure this thing out. And so we then see the hero seizing the sword. This is an act of where they are addressing the flaw that they've had so far that has led to their defeat, and the character is basically getting ready to try again, but with additional power this time. Which is why it's called seizing the sword. This is that moment, figurative or literal, when you get like He-Man grasping the sword and saying, "I have the power." That's what's going on here. We get a section break called the final battle. This is the moment when the hero goes head to head with the antagonist. And in chapter 22, they're defeated, and there's an all is lost moment where things really don't look good. But at the very last moment, the hero is able to, because they overcome their flaw and they have the sword, the power, they are led to an unexpected victory in chapter 23. And in chapter 24, we have the bittersweet return where the protagonist emerges victorious from the battle and is finally able to restore peace and equilibrium. There is a optional 25th chapter, which is kind of like, you can think of this as the epilogue to The Lord of the Rings, where we really get a good look of how much the hobbits have changed as they get back from all of their journeys. Especially Frodo. Frodo is changed, he is wounded, he is different, and will never be able to go back to the way he was. And so this 25th chapter is a way to express that kind of change that has happened because of the course of the events of the novel. That is the 24 chapter novel outlined by Derek Murphy. If you want to use this with AI, it's pretty simple. That's actually why I created this summary at the beginning here. You can simply take this, plug it into the AI, and then plug your synopsis into the AI and say, give me a chapter outline with additional information and yada, 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 using this 24 chapter novel outline. You're going to have to feed this into the AI because, based on my experience, neither Claude nor ChatGPT knows what this chapter summary is or chapter outline is. And so you will need to give it that information. But the good news is you can give it exactly the information that you want so that it does a good job outlining. I hope that was useful to you, and I'll see you in the next video.